Campos Plaza is in the Lower East Side. It's surrounded by public housing projects. The Campos Community Center is one of the few places in the neighborhood that kids can come, so they're not in the streets. Jeff Solomon volunteers at the center, playing basketball with the kids that hang out there.
One of the kids was Keith Sagato. Keith was a high school senior who was murdered on October 16, 2011. He was shot outside the center, only 2 blocks away from his home. Jeff Solomon had been a mentor to Keith since he was 7 years old.
His friends wrote "Rest in Peace, Keith" with candle wax to mark the territory where he was shot.
Keith's neighborhood reminds me of mine, East Harlem. I always hear gunshots. A few months ago, someone was murdered in my building. I wish I could do something to stop it. If I knew the people in my neighborhood, then I would try to make a change, but I don't know anyone.
Where Yun lives, there's no cameras, but where I live in the Bronx, there's police surveillance 24/7. It makes me feel safe around my neighborhood, because who would commit a crime in front of a camera? Keith was just 1 year older than me when he died. His mom, Aida, tried everything she could to keep her son safe. She invited us over to her house. I was really nervous because I knew she was going to cry, and I was afraid I wouldn't know what to say.
Aida started worrying about Keith a few years ago, and she knows what can happen on the streets here because she grew up on the Lower East Side.
Keith was getting into a lot of trouble. Last year he was arrested for possession of a gun. He served 4 months in Rikers.
Aida tried over and over to get help from the police, but she says that didn't change anything. Her friend Maisie's son was running into trouble too, so they got together and started a group called Mothers and Fathers in Arms. They weren't just trying to keep their own kids safe, but others too.
The night Keith was murdered, witnesses said there were 45 people there. Aida got a call right after it happened, saying that her son had been shot.
Aida brought us into Keith's room. When you walk in, there's a mural of Keith with angel wings that takes up one whole wall.
We asked Aida if it was hard for her to walk into Keith's room after he died. It's hard for her to leave.
Therese Huff is one of the Mothers in Arms. Tonight they're dedicating a candle lighting outside of Aida's home to the young people in the neighborhood who have passed away.
Aida is trying to get cameras installed at Campos Plaza.
City Council member Rosie Mendez set aside $400,000 for cameras last year, but they still haven't been installed.
A few weeks after Keith was killed, there was another shooting at the same location. It was another teenager, but thankfully he lived.
I look up to Aida because she's not afraid to make a change.
Being raised by women, I can relate to Aida because my mother, aunt, and grandma are women who always try and make a change, even if it's a small change.
For WNYC, I'm rookie reporter Yun May.
And I'm rookie reporter Ricardo Castro.